Welcome back to the channel. My name is SV and we are playing Satisfactory. Earlier today, after I took a little bit of a break to walk the dog, eat, took a nap. It was a lovely time. It looks like it's going to rain here today, so it kind of has one of those feelings like a nap kind of a day. We started and got mostly done with this giant iron build. And it's iron plates and iron rods on this side. Power is there. Machines are in, they're belted. They are definitely not sorted below, but now we have to do the other side here relating to screws. Let me build myself a little walkway down this way, as I have those currently out, and I think these would go like literally right up to here. And we'll tackle those after. But we're going to mirror what we have on the other side, but just for screws. So let's pick up these dumb Fixmas gifts. And I should have enough materials to actually make this happen, so it's 2 over and 3 over, so it's this. That's really tough to tell. And then it's on this one. Like that. And same thing this way. Pretty straightforward. We're basically leaving a 3 foundation gap. 1 foundation for the output or input, then 1 walking foundation, and then 1 foundation for output or input from the next row. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is again where we would leave a gap. So we're going to take this all the way to the other side and do 4 rows from this side. Okay. Man, it's really hard to see those lines. Yep, that's correct. 2, 3, 4, so it's this one, and we want to turn it this way. Two, 3, 4. Here. Alright, and then now we do my favorite thing. And just build. I like this, if you hold the snap button, it lets you build straight away. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there for a second. Alright, so we've got our first row of 13. Here's our second row of 13. Making sure there's no weird alignment issues. Looks like we're good. then is this going to be another walkway, or should we just try to fit in additional ones here? I mean, we're only going to have 8 lines coming out of the train station. So I'm not sure whether we actually have the space. Well, or do we do 2 train stations? Supportive. 2 for screws, 2 for over there. I guess we'll look when we get down below. Maybe we could fit in one more line here. We'll take a look. It's like having a little lobby is fine and all, but what's the point if they're all the same machine producing the same outcome? So let's say I did 1, 2, 3, and then had one here. Like so. Is there 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 should be here. 2, 3, 4. Oof. It's so unfortunate that that didn't work out exactly. I mean, we could do like this. But then we're doing output to no. We're doing a lobby. It's not that important. This is already going to be a metric shit ton of screws. So we don't have to concern ourselves with that right now. It'd be ideal if I just basically did all the recipes that didn't require screws, and we could still do that in the future for other builds, but having them is not going to hurt at the moment. The biggest downside is them taking up space in the sorting. You know, a full stack of screws, 500 screws per stack, and they all come out one at a time, is kind of what bogs down the sorting process currently. Sometimes you just gotta crack your fingers in the middle of these things, because goodness, when you're putting down, what was this, 104 constructors for screws just in one go? Now before we build it up, I need to remember to set the recipe, so we don't have to deal with it after going around the belts. Possibly tonight I'll do, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're watching it live, well, either way it's on YouTube, if you're watching the archive, if you're watching it live, tonight I might do a little bit of a trip around the world and see if we could locate some hard drives, perhaps get that turbo fuel recipe that I'm looking for. So when we get that turbo fuel recipe, it's on to building our more or less final power plant before nuclear. Oof, that autosave was scary. Ooh. Oh, goodness. Three more rows. See, this one I'd like to be able to zoop. Be like, zoop, but space it out this much. Like I use the arrow key to just offset it a little bit and say, great, just lay down 10 of them. This will truly be a fun thing when we eventually use foundries, assemblers. Oh man, manufacturers, lenders. Yep, it'll be a great time. We'll definitely have to be a lot more mindful of spacing and belt work for those. Alright, so we're using the cast screw recipe. Aluminum casing is just that. Okay, we're going to have to see what that entails. What is this? 12.5 to 50. So, ooh, we're going to do the math here in a second and probably be very sad. Because there's a whole metric shit ton of this being produced. And again, really the main concern for me is one line going to produce over 780? It seems like no. But that's okay, because then, well, we're gonna do the math. How many lines does it take to get to 780? So we'll do the math here in just a second. Let me set these recipes, and then we'll see how many input lines we actually can support. That's half of them. 52 constructors for screws. I'll tell you, I have never built at this kind of scale before. But it's kind of fun when you're thinking about it and being like, you know, this is a level of excess for sure. But what we want to be building, this is kind of what we need. Takes aluminum. Just trying to think if it made sense to have anything separated for future ones. Satisfactory. Repetition the game. It's a good way to get your pointer finger, your clicking finger, nice and strong here. Yep, click more of those, click more of those, non-stop clicking. All right, let's do the math. 52 times 50. So each side produces 2,600. 13 times 50, that's one row, produces 650. So each row produces 650 screws. Okay, which is fine. That'll fit onto a 780 belt. And it's 12.5 times 13, 162.5. Okay, that's nothing. 780 divided by 162.5 is 4.8 lines in. Will support this. Here we have 8 total lines in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 4 over there. So one trading station in can almost support 2 full floors of this. On the flip side, we get 780 divided by 650. No, the other way. 0.833 of a belt per line. So basically what I'd want to find out is 104 times 50 is 5,200. 780 times 8 is 6,240. So we're probably looking like 7 lines out will roughly cover. We'll have full saturation. But you add another floor, which is basically supported by one input of iron, and that will equal, oh man, that's so many screws. That's way too many screws. Okay, I think we're okay with the current numbers, but man, are we gonna have a lot of screws. What else can I get rid of this for now? So we can belt this up. Okay, so pretty reasonable, all things considered. The fact that we can output it's actually, I could probably overclock once on the end to get more, but considering the whole philosophy of our build is you want more, just build more, and we're going to use power shards to get higher production on our resources via miners or oil extractors or whatever the case is. That I think we're probably okay in the realm of this, where if I wanted more screws I would just build another floor, and we're going to. You know, it's already called out. This is floor 1 of 4. It's just I really don't want to build 3 more floors right now. And if we can get this kick started, then great. Eventually it's going to just be running, producing a bunch of materials. Those materials are going to be going to other factories, producing other materials, and then we can come back later and add another floor if we want to. make it nice and easy to jump in and add a second, third, fourth, however many we want. I think we'll cap all buildings at 4 floors. In case we want to build the second floor of our factory, considering this entire one is 1 floor. I haven't decided on... I keep thinking like, yes, that's a good idea, but I'm also like, just imagine the concrete, how much concrete we have to put up. I could install the refined power mod and get us a whole bunch of basically free power, but I like it for the aesthetics. I think wind power, hydrogen power kind of makes sense, but I totally get how it's game breaking. Like solar, especially if I can turn... Oh, and you know what I meant to do? And maybe we'll do this tonight. I meant to turn off the permaday mod for a bit and see how our factory looks with a little bit change in lighting. Because we basically only see it in this high noon setting. It's easiest to build this way and see everything, but I think I'm going to do a disable for tonight's maybe hard drive hunt. This video, if you're watching live, is going to be a little bit shorter of a stream, but if you're watching on YouTube, you already know that. It's only, oh, I don't know, maybe somewhere in the hour-ish mark. Jump down a little bit to continue building this. You know, still got to take the pup out here in a bit, and and really that's about it. So it should be a much shorter break between videos. But lots of Satisfactory content on this channel lately. So if you're enjoying the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And leave a comment on what you think of the build. Because, well, I guess a couple of things. One, I always like to see a different perspective. What people think of the build, and if there's something that I could be doing a little bit more efficiently or what have you. But on top of it, I'm really just doing this playthrough, as I mentioned before, because I enjoy playing this game and committing to uploading videos and to doing these streams allows me to continue playing it and not give up and say, oh, I'm starting a new factory. And that's kind of what I'm trying to avoid by doing this series. Giving me a good reason to continue building this mega factory. Part of which, like I mentioned before, I've never got to the point where I've had a hover pack, never got to the point where I've used drones. I have had Mark III miners before, but few and far between because I hadn't had those materials automated. So to me it was largely a handcraft everything. It's like, even now, I don't have the materials to just go and pick up from the storage for a train system. I'm going to have to handcraft them. Alright, next step. We're going to put our little walkway up. We also see where the line is for our steel beams. Then we'll connect power. Yeah, quite a bit to do still. Okay, is something broken here? What is happening? So that was weird. Something weird was happening there. Alright. Add that there. Just preemptively get that set up because we're going to need it anyway. And we'll do the walkway on the inside first because that's our primary consideration. It's going to give us a better idea where to line this up in. And we're going to do the same thing where the center lobby area, we're going to cut through it for right now and then deal with it later. Is there a walkway on this side yet? No, we hadn't even built that just yet. While we're doing it, let's also build that just to have that as a fallback. Just a farm of constructors for screws. Just an actual farm of them. Look at that. How many screws are we making? 52 times 50? Oh, not divided. Times 50. 2,600. So that will be making 2,600 screws per minute on this one floor. 4 floors when we're all said and done. Okay, so we're talking about 10,400 screws per minute. That seems like a lot. Man, I'm just thinking of the logistics of actually having another floor of this factory. Anyway, we'll tackle that when we tackle that. That's an insane thought right now. Okay, let's see. Where do we line this up? Right here? That seems like the right spot. Yeah, feels like it's a good height. Did we line that up at just at the top of that, or did we line it up in the middle of that foundation? Yep, that's right. Having things aligned like that is pleasant. Yep, should be right there. Nice lovely steel beam just so that we have a place to run our power. Let me tell you, anybody that watches YouTube videos and in live streams, there's so many damn spammers out there. It's like it's always a woman's name, and then it's just a random URL that doesn't make any effing sense. And I don't know who would go to that. It's just ridiculous. I'm sure you could see it in the chat replay, I think, if you're watching live. Or if you're watching after the fact. Okay, we're almost done, and then we'll do the one on the catwalk. Actually, let's wire them up first before we do the catwalk. And we got an autosave. Drink some Gatorade, gotta stay hydrated. Now every time I think of Gatorade or Powerade or something like that, I think of the movie Idiocracy. Actually only just recently watched that for the first time. So a buddy of mine said he recommended I watch it, and I mean, it's fine. It's really silly. A little prescient, but it felt like a MTV movie or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? One of those that's like Night at the Roxbury or something like that. That's the production value is just a little bit lower. On that topic, a lot of people really like The Sixth Element, and I don't. Fifth Element? Fifth Element. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't get it. I don't get why people enjoy that movie. That's just my thoughts. I really enjoy sci-fi. Really, like, what? Oh man, we are out of wire? I did not expect that, and I don't think we have it with us. We have to make a trip back. I was gonna mention the new Dune, 2021 Dune, I found to be a good movie. 1984 Dune? Not a good movie. Or, I don't know if it's 84. But whatever year that came out in, ooh, that was not a good movie. On our way back to home base. Concrete factory looking fantastic as always. Do we have any mistakes with our trains? Nope. Looking good there. Boy, just that simple piece of adding path signals to that intersection alleviated so many of the issues I was seeing. It's great. I think we're still going to put a little factory in this space here. I was also thinking there's this mod that allows you to shrink and grow, or change the size of objects, I should say. So you could take a constructor and then shrink it down a little bit, or make it bigger, or whatever. There's some value there. I had a pretty fun idea to use that. But one of the other ideas I was thinking is like in the front of each of the factories you have just like right there an oversized iron ingot on display. And that's how you know what's over there. But it's not going to be enough. Let's just take some more just in case. Wire is basically free. We've got plenty of it. I mean, all of this is free. Infinite materials, and we're running pure nodes on everything, so easy. My driving is superb. Okay. Yeah, that like other planet back there. I don't think I ever noticed that. There's one right there. Any others? I don't think I ever noticed either one of those. That one kind of looks a little bit like a moon. I don't know. That's pretty close. Are we on like a moon? Or are both of those orbiting us? This game kind of freaks out in the physics with this Explorer as I'm driving it. Like, look at this thing. Okay, first of all, we gotta go in here. And I'm gonna take a guess and say this is gonna be one of the entrance doors. Like, it's a pretty good guess that we're gonna be right there somewhere. Let's pick up where we left off. Oh man, we're gonna run out of cable. I didn't even look at that. Well, we could just take some of the wire that we have and craft it into cable instead of going all the way back, depending on how close we are. I suspect pretty close because about half of the cable is going to just get used to route up to the top, let alone connect all these up. Wait, yeah, are these connected? No, but those lines are okay. Might as well do it in the moment. Yeah, so that's also one cable each between all of these. It's so finicky though. There we go. And then onto our next set of 52. Oh, it's getting warm in this room. I need to turn the AC on again. It's pretty warm where I'm at. It's like in the 70s today, and a little bit cloudy, like it's gonna rain. Hence why my nap seemed to be a little bit of an extended one. I planned to only take a nap for about an hour, and then it was one of those where it was hard to wake up, even. You know, where you just... I think part of that is also just work-related pieces where I've just been so tired lately that your body, when it has the moment to catch up, it takes advantage. We're for sure running out of cable. So we haven't even done the perimeter yet. Stop for the autosave. All hail the autosave. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Thank you. I don't think I'm going to approach the limit on items. The build limit. I know it's like 2 million something. At least I really hope not, but I guess you never know. Oh, it's under electronics? That's weird. Definitely not ingots, not power shards. Not that. Yeah, the rest of this is valid. We'll craft maybe 150. Seems reasonable. It might actually carry us through, but might have to do another small round of this. It's a good thing we brought a whole mess of wire. Gosh, I hate when I misclick that. They're so tiny and their hitbox sometimes doesn't make sense. Like, you're hovering literally right over it and it doesn't do anything. I heard a train going by. The only one that would be going by right now is a sorting train. That's relatively close to where we are right now. Yay to having that finally done. Now let's go upstairs. Finish out the steel beams. I swear, one of these days I'll make the appropriate toolbars. Oh man, it looks like it's gonna pour outside today. I'm looking out the window and there's some real dark clouds approaching. I may have to cut the video a little bit shorter to take the pup out for a walk, because he is not keen on being out in the rain, as one would imagine. Maybe have a toolbar that's like inside of a factory toolbar. Yep, that's exactly how I wanted to build that game. It's exactly the way I built that. It's truly strange at how it decides distance on this. If anyone knows an easy way to align that to make it for sure just go in a straight line. I mean, it is going in a straight line, but you know what I mean. I don't want it to go up. join up all of these, run power, and we should be good on this side. Hopefully our plastic's been able to catch up a little bit while I was running my errands and taking a nap and all of that stuff. I had the game just running the whole time with the anticipation that it would just build, you know, just have our starter base continue to supply things for us. It doesn't hurt. Okay. And I guess we can just go from this side and connect it up. Wiring it from one side is, well, especially I guess if we're doing it from the back like this, is going to ensure that everything gets power right away, and then we just double it up on the other side, just for funsies. And again, we still have to redo this central lobby area, but for now we're going to run the power as though there's not going to be anything here, but we know. That's basically going to be mirrored like in the iron plate, iron rod side. Here, and this onto the crossbeam, and then this to our lovely fun jump and try to hit it on the first try. Nailed it. I was going to say, are those not aligned? Because that would be a problem. I forgot that we started building that top floor walkway and didn't finish it on the side because we really didn't have a need. So these should all be powered. If we see any red bars, we messed something up. Sometimes in the distance you'll see a red bar because it hasn't updated yet. You haven't been in that section for it to update, and it basically remembers the last state that it was in. So sometimes you'll see a red bar and be like, wait, what? And then you have the realization that, well, actually, that's just what it last remembered. Yellow is good. It means that there's a recipe set up. And last but not least, this row, which, I mean, it's not needed because it's already got the power, but look at that. A sea of constructors for 2,600 screws per minute. Chump change. It actually feels like it should be substantially more, but you know, it's okay. I think we're okay. I'm curious of something. How are we looking on power? Max consumption, almost 14,000 out of the 24 roughly that we have. Interesting. Okay. Well, with this autosave, I'm going to leave it here for now. Potentially tonight, be jumping on to do a little bit of hard drive hunting / finishing this factory out completely, and that includes a train station, full belt work. Well, not a train station, several trains, like what, 4 minimum train stations for this. So we'll tackle that upcoming, but more to come on that in the future. But thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series. And as always, if you're watching on YouTube,